Marcus Chun had never expected to find himself at a galactic rehabilitation center on Kepler 442b. But here he was, walking through corridors filled with beings from across the galaxy who had fallen on hard times. The translator chip behind his ear buzzed softly as alien languages converted to his native English. "The human wishes to sponsor someone?" the Zelfarian administrator asked, his multiple eyes blinking in sequence. The concept seemed to confuse him. "This is unusual. Most species only sponsor their own kind." Marcus nodded firmly. "I've read about your program. These individuals need homes, need someone to help them restart their lives. I have space, resources, and time." The administrator's tentacles twitched. What Marcus had learned was equivalent to a shrug. "Very well. Follow me to the residential wing." They walked past numerous enclosures, each housing different species. Marcus saw the proud Altarians with their crystalline features, the furry Betelgeusians huddled in groups, and the aquatic vegan delegates floating in their mobility tanks. All were here because of various misfortunes, economic collapse on their homeworlds, natural disasters, or simply the cruel randomness of an indifferent universe. Then he saw her. She sat alone in a corner unit, smaller than most of the other residents. Her species was unfamiliar to him, roughly humanoid, but with pale, almost translucent skin that seemed to shimmer slightly. What struck him most was that she wore a simple cloth wrapped around her eyes, and her posture spoke of someone who had given up hope long ago. "What about her?" Marcus asked. The administrator's translation came through with obvious reluctance. "Ah, that is Lyra. She is Etherean. Her species is considered aesthetically displeasing by most galactic standards. And she is blind and genetic condition. She has been here for over 3 standard years. No one has shown interest." Marcus felt something tighten in his chest. 3 years? In this place? The Ethereans are not a popular species for sponsorship. Their appearance is considered unfortunate, and her disability makes her seem burdensome. Most prefer to sponsor beings who can contribute more obviously to their households. "I'd like to meet her." The administrator seemed taken aback. "You are certain? Perhaps one of the Altarians would be more suitable. They are known for their mathematical abilities, and I'd like to meet Lyra, please." When they approached her unit, Lyra's head tilted slightly toward them. Marcus noticed that despite her blindness, she seemed aware of their presence. The administrator spoke in what Marcus assumed was her native language, and she responded in a voice that was melodic, almost like wind chimes. "She asked why you wish to speak with her," the administrator translated. "She says most visitors pass by quickly." Marcus knelt down to be at her level. "Tell her that I'm looking for someone to share my home with, someone who might appreciate a fresh start." After the translation, Lyra's head turned directly toward Marcus, as if she could see him. She spoke again, and the administrator hesitated before translating. She says she is ugly and useless, that humans are known to value beauty, and she has none to offer. Marcus felt anger rise in his chest, not at her, but at a universe that had convinced this being she was worthless. "Tell her that where I come from, we have a saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that the most beautiful thing about anyone is their kindness, their spirit, their capacity to care about others." As the translation came through, Lyra's posture changed slightly. She spoke again, longer this time. She asks if you are certain. She says she cannot see to help with visual tasks, cannot work in ways that other species can. She would be dependent on your charity. "Tell her," Marcus said softly, "that I'm not looking for a servant or an employee. I'm looking for a friend, someone to share meals with, to talk with, to learn from. I live alone on Earth, and I think we might be able to help each other." The translation seemed to take forever. When it finished, Lyra was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, she reached out her hand. Marcus took it gently in his own. Her skin was soft, almost silk-like, and warm. When she smiled, Marcus realized the administrator had been very wrong about Etherean beauty. Her smile transformed her entire face, and there was something luminous about her that had nothing to do with physical appearance. 3 months later, Marcus watched Lyra tend to the garden behind his house in Colorado. She had an intuitive understanding of plants that amazed him. She could tell when they needed water, when they were diseased, when they were ready for harvest, all through touch and smell and senses he didn't fully understand. "The tomatoes are nearly ready," she said in the English she'd been rapidly learning. Her accent was musical, turning even simple words into something beautiful. "2 more days, I think." "How do you always know these things?" Marcus asked, settling down beside her on the bench they'd installed in the garden. Lyra turned toward him, her face tilted up to the sun. "When you cannot see, you learn to listen to other things. Plants have their own language, if you know how to hear it." She had taught him so much in such a short time. About patience, about finding joy in small things, about the way the universe spoke in frequencies most beings never bothered to notice. Her presence had filled his house with laughter, with music she sang while she cooked, and with a perspective on life that was entirely new to him. "Marcus," she said softly, "may I ask you something?" "Of course. That first day, why did you choose me?" "The administrator told me there were many others, more conventional choices." Marcus considered his answer carefully. "Because when I saw you sitting there, I recognized something. Loneliness. And I thought maybe we could be lonely together, which is really just another way of saying we could be family." Lyra reached out and found his hand, squeezing it gently. "On my world, we have a saying, the heart sees what the eyes cannot. I think humans understand this better than most species realize." As the sun set over the Colorado mountains, Marcus reflected on how wrong the galaxy was about so many things. About beauty, about worth, about what it meant to truly see another being. Lyra had called him kind, but he knew the truth. She had saved him just as much as he had saved her dot in the distance. The evening news mentioned another breakthrough in human-alien relations. Another species impressed by humanity's unusual approach to interspecies cooperation. Marcus smiled, knowing that the real breakthroughs happened not in government halls or trade negotiations, but in quiet moments like these, when beings chose to see past surfaces to the light within. The galaxy was learning, slowly, what humans had always known. That family wasn't about species or appearance or ability. It was about choice, about commitment, about seeing the extraordinary in what others dismissed as ordinary dot, and sometimes the most beautiful discoveries came from the most unexpected places.